Hello and welcome. You're watching the News Hour Agenda Weekend Edition. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Before we get you the big story of the day, the fight, unfortunately, that still continues over the supply of oxygen across the country, we get you a story of how, while the rest of us, most of India is isolating, is practicing social distancing, is observing COVID-appropriate behavior, some people are still insisting on behaving like, and pardon the language, as COVIDiots. We get you three stories, one from Punjab, one from Bihar, and the third from Goa. In Goa, where the Deputy Chief Minister was seen partying without a mask, without any social distancing on a day when the state reported more than 2,000 COVID cases in 24 hours. In Punjab, a Congress leader was seen in a similar situation. And finally, a JDU MLA, a former JDU MLA in Bihar, who broke rules of night curfew and attended a gathering that saw several COVID norms being violated. All right, Sharon is joining us live. Let's get more details of exactly what happened in each of the cases. Sharon, first tell us about what is the reason given by the leader, the Deputy CM from Goa, what happened and what was the urgency of this party? Sharon, I think there is a problem with your audio. If you could just unmute yourself and give us the details. Sharon, if you can hear me, can you give us the details of what really happened in Goa? What was the urgency to party at a time like this? Sharon, can you hear me? Well, I think we should just move on. The big political story that we have got from the last 24 hours, despite the fact that the centre has stepped in with a number of measures to increase the supply of oxygen, especially to states which are facing a problem, states like Delhi and Maharashtra, the fight over O2 still continues. The crisis was especially underlined in Delhi, where yesterday there was a heated exchange. Remember, a number of private hospitals have repeatedly gone to the Delhi High Court with an appeal to increase the supply of oxygen. Repeatedly, the government has said, the state government has said that they have been asking for 700 metric tons of oxygen. However, they do not even get the amount that has been allotted to them by the centre. Basically, it is this life-giving oxygen which is stuck in politics between Delhi and the centre, and despite the intervention of the High Court, even now that crisis doesn't seem to get resolved. All right, also some more news coming in about the measures that are being taken consistently by the government to try and hike up the supply of oxygen. The centre has decided that with immediate effect, use of liquid oxygen, including existing stock, is to be allowed for medical purposes only. Let's get more details and the ramifications of that order from Nikunj. Yes, Nikunj. All right, we can't seem to get through to Nikunj either, but the order limited is that the centre has decided the use of liquid oxygen, including existing stock, will be allowed for medical purposes, and all manufacturing units will be allowed to maximum production of liquid oxygen and make it available to the government for medical purposes only. So why does the politics over oxygen continue? Let me go across to our guests, RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawalla, lawyer, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, chairman of Nephron, Ravi Srivastav, political analyst, Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst. Ravi Srivastav, I want to start by asking you, yesterday, in very clear terms, the Delhi High Court told the Delhi government that you cannot expect everything to be given to you on a platter. Can we see greater cooperation now between the state and the centre instead of finger pointing?
On the contrary, a very filthy language was used by the Solicitor General of India, and he said that don't be a crying baby. I think it's most insulting for a state government, and the Solicitor General should have apologized to the court. Now, what I want to tell you is that Delhi crisis is not happened yesterday or day before.
What was filthy about it? The Solicitor General said that there are certain facts which are known to me, but I do not want to put them out in court. However, if there is a crisis, let us all work together and not be a crybaby. That being said, can we please talk about substance, about why the oxygen is not reaching? I don't want to get into sidetracked into this tutu meme, which is totally immaterial, Ravi Srivastav. Do you have any facts or anything substantial to say about the oxygen stocks? Let's talk about that, please. This is not Twitter that we do this pointless tutu meme.
Why the requirement is 700 metric ton? Why the allocation is given 480 metric ton? And why the supply is only 350 metric ton? 2 days before, Manish Sisodia was saying he was allocated 377 metric ton and he could get only 177 metric ton. Why? Who is at fault? Now it's the time the head should roll. Because the High Court has also said it, that those who obstruct the movement of oxygen, we will see to them they are hanged. Now it's a high time that people should be hanged. All kind of tax.
Now you made a substantive point. All right.
Where are they? Those people who are heading that, what they could envisage.
Okay, sir, you've asked a realistic question. Now let's get the answer to that. First of all, RP Singh, the question being asked is, when Delhi needs 700 metric tons, why are they consistently being allotted only a little over 400 metric tons? Point number one. And even the allotted amount is not reaching them. Point number two. That's a direct question to you. Are you deliberately starving Delhi of oxygen? RP Singh.
I don't want to make it a slugfest because this is a serious problem. And we have to face it together. I'm saying center and state has both put together to face it together and find out the issue, resolution to this. Mr. Ravi Srivastav, just hear me out patiently because I don't want to shout at you. I'm trying. I get myself tested for COVID today. I don't know whether I'll be there tomorrow or no. So let me just say something. This is what Mr. Kejriwal said.
देश के कई हिस्सों में कई स्टेट्स में ऑक्सीजन की कमी है. दिल्ली में ऑक्सीजन की कमी नहीं है. We are good on oxygen.
This is 15th April. 19th April says, oh, we are running short of oxygen. Sir, you have to plan in advance. Central government gave you budget, money in your pocket for 8 plants. You could have done, you only did only 1 plant. And it's not a big expenditure. But I'm telling you on today on TV channel, Mr. Kejriwal, if you don't want to spend money out of your ad spend, which is 293 crore, which is more than, I have the data of all 15 corporates, including Nescafe and all, more than that. I'm saying, if you're running still short of money, we will organize money. You tell us where plant has to come and we'll organize the money for you. I'm not saying on record. I as RP Singh will request people to donate to Delhi Kejriwal to put plants. That's the basic thing. Had we done this over little earlier, Delhi could have been little better.
Plants will come up tomorrow itself. Mr. RP Singh, you give the money, you donate the money, the plants will come up tomorrow itself.
Sir, Ravi, please.
How much time does it take to put up a plant? Do you know?
अभी भी जाग लो सर. अभी भी जाग लो सर. अभी भी जरूरत है. अभी भी जरूरत है सर. अगर गुजरात के अंदर हफ्ते में प्लान लग सकता है तो आप भी लगा सकते हैं सर.
Mr. Srivastav, there is no point in shouting. Now the more specific issue is,
ये 293 करोड़ रुपया खर्च हो अपने 1 साल के
293 करोड़ 2 लोगों की जान जा रही है.
ज्यादा है मेरी
293 करोड़.
और सर आप
Mr. Srivastav, now you're not making any substantive points. Now you're just yelling. Can I please ask just a second? Ghanshyam Tiwari and Suman C. Raman. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I'll ask ask you first because you usually come well researched. Now, even the court recognized that there is sufficient stocks of oxygen across the country. We have about 550,000 metric tons. That's the data that has been given of medical and industrial oxygen. The problem is in transportation. And for transportation, the state government has to chip in. You have to arrange for the cryogenic cylinders. You have to write to the railways, and then the transportation will be arranged for. A classic example is the state of Maharashtra, which, as you know as well, is ruled by a non-BJP party. Despite that, you have got already supplies being taken from 3 different locations to Maharashtra. Then surely this is not about discrimination against a non-BJP state. The problem lies elsewhere, right?
Well, Padma, first and foremost, I want to start by conveying my deepest condolences to every one of our countrymen who have fallen. The crisis continues to create a mayhem, and there is tragedy everywhere. So in that spirit, I think our solutions have to be constructive. As far as the oxygen crisis is concerned, I think the number of organizations, including both central government and state government, as well as private organizations, startups, Reliance, various startups, everybody is now on it to ensure that this crisis is solved to the best possible ability. Clearly, the nation did not know enough about the oxygen supply chain, especially medical oxygen supply chain. And the crisis has hit hard. Even today, people are saying, who are in this business, are saying that if the numbers sustain, we will be able to catch up very quickly. But if the numbers continue to spiral out of control, we will not be able to catch up. So I think it is one thing to say how oxygen supply will affect. Another is that how the numbers will spiral. And that is where the government's response is absolutely important. I think that is where the central government has led the country down by camping in Bengal and continue to camp in elections in Bengal. The Economic Times today talks about how COVID-19 empowered groups is gasping because of several people who have, I don't know, is it difficult to hear? I don't know if my voice is clear, but how the COVID-19 empowered group is facing COVID-19 infections within itself. So the question that I have for RP Singh or anybody on this panel is, who is taking
There is a problem with your audio as well. We are getting an echo. We'll try and fix that and come back because it's very difficult to be able to understand you. But again, the point I was trying to ask you about, and maybe you can answer that, Suman Siraman, if the transportation has to happen, the state government has to chip in.
Look, Padma, again we are moving
and that was
into
recognized
this
by the
of
Delhi
state
High Court, not by
government's
the Supreme
role,
Court.
central government's role. Why didn't these people do this? Why didn't those people do that? Let me give you an example. You take the southern states. You take a state like Kerala. Kerala has approximately 28,000 cases a day. Many of them, thousands of them, will be requiring oxygen. Kerala started augmenting their oxygen capacity, production capacity last year. Tamil Nadu started augmenting its oxygen storage capacity in May of 2020, where all the major government hospitals' oxygen storage capacity was enhanced. Look, at the end of the day, governance matters. I think that the entire story of the crisis in Delhi and in some other states like Uttar Pradesh is clearly a crisis of poor governance. And I think that there is no point in one pointing fingers at the other. Everybody is culpable. And look, why are we even talking about
Poor
quotas
governance.
now? No, 1 second. Why are we even talking about quotas now?
Hear that. This is about poor governance.
1 second, Padmaja. Every last patient who needs oxygen must get it. Whether it means allotting 480 metric
Absolutely.
tons or
But
5,000 metric
you know,
tons.
while-
This whole
while
issue
that
of
may
the
sound
center
very
saying,
beautiful while
you
saying it,
want
the fact
700,
is
I will
that
give you
in
400.
government, you have to distribute equitably. The central government has to distribute resources equitably. That's the
Excuse
quota we are
me,
talking
when
about.
there
We're
is
not talking
no-
about
when the
quota as
central
in you will
government
only get this
says
much.
there is no
We are talking
shortage.
about equitable distribution.
When the center says there is no shortage, then to the extent possible, every state must get whatever it requires. There is no question of saying that you will get
But they
300,
need
you will
to
get
take
200.
it from the center. But they need to
Padmaja,
take it from the center, Suman Siraman. How will the oxygen come?
1 minute. 1 second.
If I order something, I need to be able to take it also, right? Or I expect it to be given to me.
No, there are two ways of looking at it. One,
Yes.
the center can say, look, the oxygen needs to come from Odisha, the oxygen needs to come from Bengal, the oxygen needs to come from other states. And therefore, since the state government's capacity to organize from other states may be limited, the center may have better capacity, they will chip in and help out. The other way is what's going on right now. Why didn't you organize
so
it?
you are saying
didn't
basically,
organize it, so
Shehzad
it's all
Poonawala
your
is being
fault.
said, so what
It's
if Delhi
Kejriwal's
did not
fault.
make a request?
That's the other way.
So what if Delhi did not agree to provide cryogenic cylinders? The centre should have said that the people are suffering, hence we are going to send it nonetheless.
What is the harm? What is the harm?
And
Is this
for the
the time when people are gasping for breath? Is this the time to say to expose Kejriwal's incompetence, or is it the time to save lives?
This is not about exposing, sir. Please, there is no need to be dramatic. This is not about exposing. This is just about waiting for a state government to tell us what is your need and
Look,
then do
it's
the
not,
allocation.
Padmaja,
and
this
then
is
to
going
give it
on
to
for a
you.
week. You know very well this is going on for 1 week. This is not one day. Okay, the first day they waited for the state government. State government didn't get its act together. Let the centre do it. Look, at the end of the day, the
Okay, let
oxygen
the
has to
centre do
reach
it.
the
Shehzad
patient.
Poonawala.
Yeah.
The centre should have stepped in. This is not a time to say, oh, look how Kejriwal is failing and sit on your hands. The centre should have stepped in earlier, 1 week ago. Shehzad Poonawala.
Padmaja, in the interest of fairness, I have not interrupted anybody, so I'll take half the time Mr. Raman has taken, and I hope he won't interrupt. Now, point number one is the centre did step in. In fact, the centre, in as early as May 2020, and I have the letter here of the DGCI, the Director General, Drug Controller General of India, who said to all state licensing authorities that within 24 hours, identify all the applications you get and start the production of medicinal oxygen. After that, the central government also allocated money and permissions for PSAs. For instance, in Delhi, 8 were allocated. You've seen what the Delhi High Court said. The Delhi High Court said that only site assessment and site verification had to be done. Even the Delhi government did not do that, and now it has demanded a compliance report. In Rajasthan, another case, for some reason it's not being picked up. I don't know why. Rajasthan is another peculiar case. The central government gives the money from NHM scheme. The state government also tenders for the PSAs to be put, but the civil work that needs to be done at 3 centers in Jodhpur, that civil work has not been done from November to today. And now after they do the
Did a contractor abscond?
No, please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. Padmaja, this is not fair. And forget all of that. I'll give you one more instance. In Delhi, 45 hospitals are to be provided by Inox. It was broken, a story broken on Times Now. Inox has written a letter to Delhi government that you have not given us clarity on 28 hospitals. The same Inox has written that we are trying to bring the oxygen to the places, to the hospitals. We are blocked by these farmers sitting, so-called farmers sitting on the borders. Forget everything else. When you were given the PSAs, why didn't you, just like Kerala, put those PSAs together in the last 8 months, 6 months? You said, I will do home delivery of oxygen. You said 7 days ago, we are good to go on oxygen. You did not buy cryogenic tankers. You did not set up the PSAs. You did not give the sites. You are not doing the civil work. And then you blame everything on Narendra Modi. And today you have a letter written to the industrialists, which Modi has already taken a meeting of 2 days ago, and you take credit for it. Stop fighting for airtime. Fight for people's air.
And by the way, industrialists who have already started supplying oxygen, Naveen Jindal said 48 hours ago that I have already started the supply of oxygen to Delhi. So appealing today to people who have already extended support, one doesn't know what that is supposed to mean. I hope Ghanshyam Tiwari's audio has been fixed, but I want to get you in, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. The problem is that at one point, it was nobody's priority that these instructions had been given. But, and this is what government sources are telling us now, that of the 8 PSA plants which were to be installed in Delhi, 1 plant in Buradi was installed on the 17th of March 2021. 4 plants, 1 each at Deen Dayal Upadhyay Hospital, Lok Nayak Hospital, Baba Saheb Ambedkar Hospital and Deep Chand Bandhu Hospital are expected to be completed by 30th of April. The site readiness of these hospitals was delayed by the state government despite weekly reviews with them since November last year. The point is that since November, which is when the tenders were given out for these PSA plants, pressure absorption oxygen plants in Delhi, people eased up. So it was no one's priority to make them. Dr. Bagai.
Good evening, Padmaja. Good evening, everyone. In almost 37 years of being in clinical practice, this is the most heart-wrenching experience to see infinite suffering, pain and agony of patients, of relatives, of our fellow colleagues as doctors. I mean, this is completely unacceptable with zero tolerance. We have taken away the basic backbone of a patient's survival in an ICU or in a critical care situation. Yes, we knew that the demand is increasing because the numbers were saying so. Yes, we know that the bed mix type was changing, so more number of beds were becoming oxygen dependent. We also know that there were certain people who were hoarding oxygen in XYZ. But the fact is, it boils down to is it's poor planning and poor prediction for being future ready. You can't lose a human life who's come in need, in pain, in sickness, in expectation that the doctor or the hospital will perform. How is a doctor going to perform when you are not giving the basic essentials? It's not only the oxygen, it's the essential drugs which should have been made available here. It's the bed availability, it's the coordination. Frankly speaking, and I speak on behalf of most of the doctors community, it's tearful. It is so distressful to lose a human life which could have been saved. Ask the families who have been asked to shift a patient gasping in an ambulance or even in a car because the ambulance was not available. Where will they take an old mother or father or a dying spouse? This is so terrible. And this is the time in which we do not have to indulge in politics.
So why the laxity, Ghanshyam Tiwari? And now to say that, the centre should have stepped in, what was the state government to be doing for the last 4 months? In an affidavit filed in court on Tuesday, here's what the centre said. As on date, 1 plant at Buradi Hospital has been installed. 4 other plants are expected to be installed by the end of April. Site readiness certificate for 1 site has been received on the 19th of April. Remaining 2 are still awaited from the government of Delhi, Ghanshyam Tiwari. And this was done way back in November. Since then, even the site readiness certificate has not been given. Why? Kidhar se center laga degi plant if even the site readiness certificate is not given by the state?
When day after day the headline is dangerous and tragic, I will not read the fine prints. And who led this tragedy is clear. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah frontally led this tragedy by putting the entire nation's focus on Bengal elections, Mahakumbh, and all the communal politics
Mr.
that
Tiwari,
ensued.
you always argue on facts. Why are you now sidestepping the issue? I am asking you a simple question. Today, Delhi does not have oxygen. Delhi is deserved to have 8 oxygen plants. Why wasn't the site readiness certificate given?
How many debates is Times Now do in March on oxygen supply or corona? Every one of your debate was in Bengal.
How many debates did you do in
early April on corona?
And just by the way, in March we did plenty, sir.
Acts as a
in March we did plenty. In March we did plenty.
The story must be told.
Sir, my question is, okay, you can either sidestep it and make it a personalized tutu meme Ghanshyam Tiwari. But since usually I respect you for being well researched and well read, I hoped I would get a direct answer from you on a direct question. That here you have a situation where the centre says, sir, just a second. The centre says, we give you 8 oxygen plants. Please make these plants. Here's the money. For 4 months, there is no movement. The centre says we did weekly review meetings and till date, out of those 8, only 1 plant has been made. Are you saying in asking this question, one is protecting the Modi government, one should not ask the question of Delhi government saying, excuse me, you had 8 plants requisitioned, why did you make only 1?
Why centre did not take the action against the officials? Tell me.
India has not increased
why
its
the
capacity
centre
to
did not take
manufacture
action of hiring officials?
What action did you expect? What action do you want, Ravi Srivastava? That if a weekly review is happening, what should the centre do? Arrest the government.
Put up even inquiry for that. Straightway sack the people. What a task force did. How much remdesivir was required?
Sack who? Sack the democratically elected chief minister. Now you're being ridiculous.
Oxygen, what vaccine? Tell me everything. What planning government did?
Okay, we will talk about the vaccine because I actually want to discuss the vaccine further. It's very important because the vaccination is going to begin. All right, this is apni topi transfer karna. RP saying that today the centre says we knew Delhi mein oxygen plant nahi ban raha hai. We did review meeting. Ravi Srivastava demands, why didn't you act sooner? When you discovered, I'm asking your question only, Ravi Srivastava, calm down. When the centre discovered that no action is being taken for making those oxygen plants, why did it not step in? RP Singh.
See, Padmaja, as per Mr. Ravi Srivastava, we should have sacked Mr. Kejriwal and should have brought President Rule here because he is the one who is supposed to do it. His health minister is supposed to do it. They are not doing it. And again, basic is that you arrange for trucks. They're asking us to arrange for trucks now. Sir, they're asking us to arrange for trucks. They should arrange for the trucks. And then again they are telling lies that there is shortage. There's no shortage. They are not consuming 480 metric tons. Let them pick up 480 metric tons first, and if they need more will be given. But they are not picking up this quota which is dedicated to them. It's the central government which is ferrying the trucks, those special vessels from UAE, from Germany, for Singapore, Delhi.
They had to,
Who else?
they did not
You should have done it, sir. You should have done it earlier. But you were busy doing advertising, sir. You are busy coming on TV channel every 5 seconds. So you are more busy with what you are not supposed to do. You are supposed to ensure that oxygen is available to everyone. And then again, as Shehzad was telling, 140 metric tons from Panipat. The road is blocked because of the Kisan Andolan, to whom Kejriwal is supporting. Because he wants to contest Punjab election. He is supporting Kisan Andolan. 140 metric tons.
Subansiri Raman, does that explanation satisfy you? The BJP's argument is we did all we could. Now, short of taking action against a federal government, what else do you expect them to do?
Okay,
They sanctioned money, they sanctioned plants, they followed up. But there's precious little you can do.
Let us make it very clear. This is the fault of everybody else, except the BJP, except the government, and except the center, except those in power. Okay, it is Kejriwal's fault. It is the Congress Party's fault. It is Jawaharlal Nehru's fault. It's everybody's fault. But please, the government machinery is now with you.
Why are you being melodramatic? I'm asking you a factual question. Now you're being melodramatic. Nobody said it is Jawaharlal Nehru's fault. I am asking you, if the money is sanctioned and somebody doesn't build the plant, whose fault is it?
At every stage, there has been a complete lack of preparedness and a completely cavalier approach to the second wave. First of all, the vaccine
By who?
has been a complete...
By who, sir?
Handled the vaccine disaster that has happened must first resign.
Now, why are you jumping to another topic? When you're saying it's a lack of preparedness, please name names. A lack of preparedness by who?
The COVID Task Force Scientific Committee did not even meet in February and March.
Madam, who else is responsible? You took over, you have got the power.
Shehzad Poonawala.
Look, I will give you all a simple solution. Please blame Pakistan or please blame China, but please save some people, yaar.
These people, when it comes to blame the state governments, they blame everybody. And when it comes to blame the central government, they blame the central government. Now let me show you.
This is sick. This is just sickening.
One second. These are the pictures of PSA plants in Gujarat and Karnataka. You gave the example of Kerala too. I want to ask Mr. Raman or Mr. Ravi Srivastava, show me the pictures of the PSA plants in Kerala.
What is happening in Gujarat? What is the percentage of underreported deaths? What is happening in Gujarat? See the videos.
Okay, please reduce everyone's audio, but Shehzad, let him finish what he's saying, then you counter him. No chilla chilli, please. We don't work like that. Yes, go on. Finish up.
Dr. Bagai and I and RP Singh are not interrupting. There are these constant hecklers who don't want to allow the other side of the narrative to come out ever. Now, my last point is that you can either be a dharne wala or you can be a karne wala. There is a Gujarat government, karne wala, Karnataka government, karne wala, Kerala government, karne wala, and then there is a dharne wala who's only doing dharna but not able to answer why the PSA did not come up, whether it is in Rajasthan or whether it is in Delhi. Just tell us why you did not put up the PSA. RP Singh is bad, Modi is bad, everybody is bad. आपने क्यों नहीं किया? ये बताओ.
Now, you know, also since you were being slightly melodramatic, Dr. Subansiri Raman, let me ask you this. Today, the Deputy Chief Minister, after the last 1 week of saying everyone is low on oxygen, actually said that some hospitals are crying wolf. They have enough oxygen, but they are creating an artificial shortage. What do you have to say to that? For the Deputy Chief Minister to be blaming the hospitals where people are short of oxygen, sir. Now, do you think that's insensitive, since you thought, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, that the Solicitor General saying the government should be crybaby is insensitive? Do you find this insensitive or a statement of fact?
The purpose
of the debate is, sir, please ask for accountability from the people who are responsible. Don't do this generic, nahi, Pakistan ko blame kar do, nahi, China ko blame kar do. Ask for accountability where it is due.
I can go on and on about this. Dr. V.K. Paul of the Niti Aayog said on May 16th, 2020, India will have 0 new cases. He is still in the same position. He is still in the post. So please don't give this.
Chief Minister of Delhi said on the 15th of April that we have more than adequate oxygen and there is no need to worry. Do you know that the Health Minister of Delhi on the 22nd said we have adequate supplies? What are you talking about, sir? People
Yes.
who are managing the oxygen supplies were saying we are okay, everything is fine. And then the next day they said we need 700 metric tons. Where is the oxygen going to come from? From thin air?
The Delhi government failed, but they are not the only ones who have failed. There have been failures across the board, starting right with the central government.
That I agree with.
Across to
That
every
I agree
single
with.
state there has been failure.
Now I completely agree with you, sir. I agree with you. There I agree with you. Yes, there have been failures at multiple
The purpose
fronts.
of this program is to blame Kejriwal. It is not to find a solution. You
Can
have
I
no
decide
interest
what
in finding a
I
solution.
think or I don't think?
Your entire
When you just
aim
said there have
is
been
to
failures
say
at all fronts,
the center did
I
everything
am saying
right
it. You're like, no,
and
no, you
Kejriwal
don't.
messed
Now,
up
will you
everything.
decide for me what I think or I don't think?
But that's
Sir,
that's
all
just
I'm
what
saying
you're
is seek
This is what you're
accountability
saying.
from everyone. Don't do this topi transfer.
accountability did you ask
If
from-
somebody
what
has failed
accountability
to
did you
put up
ask from the
plants,
COVID task
ask
force
each one
which
of
never
them.
met?
If the
Did the
Karnataka
COVID task
government
force
has
meet in
not
February
made
and
enough
March?
oxygen plants, then they should be asked. Sorry?
Did the COVID task force meet in February and March? Can you please confirm they met? Despite the fact that cases were rising,
RP
when
Singh,
you have a national
why did it not
scientific
meet? You already know it
task
did not
force,
meet.
why
Yes,
did
go
they
on.
not meet after
So you're
January
asking a
11th
rhetorical
till
question
April
because you know
15th?
they did not meet. Why did the COVID task force not meet? RP Singh, if you're not serious. Okay, Shahzad Poonawala is answering this.
Right. The multidisciplinary high-level committee has sent 4 letters between January to February to these states which had high COVID case that please start taking all the precautions. The second wave is coming. Whether it was Chhattisgarh, whether it was Uttar Pradesh, whether it was Gujarat, whether it was Delhi. Mr. Sumansi Raman, don't spread lies that they were not alerted. They were alerted. You ignored because you wanted to do politics over pandemic.
This attack.
Okay, I want to quickly move on to the second very important issue of the day. No, just a second, because now we're just going into Tutu Meme territory. I think Dr. Sumansi Raman said one very important thing, that failures have happened at multiple levels and each one of those must be questioned, must be analyzed when we are, hopefully all of us are through this, and must be addressed so we don't make the same mistakes again. I think that's the most sensible thing that has been said in the last 20 minutes. Now I want to come to the other issue about the entire politics over vaccination. Now from the 2nd of May, we are going to begin our third phase where everyone above the age of 18 gets vaccinated. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, tell me this, why are the states being discriminated against? Each one of them says that when the center got it cheaper from both Bharat Biotech and from Serum Institute, why should the states have to pay more at 400 rupees?
Good evening again, and hello to everyone. The pricing policy actually is decided by a multiple factors. So just allow me just 2 minutes flat and I'll explain this to you. It's basically to target and see what the target population is, to see the potential competitors and alternatives, to see what the profit margins are, to see what the incremental value is of the ingredients and the characteristics, the vaccine positioning in the market, what is the year-on-year excess in demand and increase in pricing, what are the larger cost factors as far as legal and regulatory approvals, cost of manufacturing, that is R&D, distribution, local logistics, etc. So for the last few days, I've been digging into it, and there are more than 26,600 research papers over 5 data crunching platforms internationally. And the most important points are, what are the factors which are going to determine affordability, accessibility, administrability, equitable distribution, quick distribution, and safety. That's the only way you'll roll out with decreased hesitancy. I'm of a firm belief that center and state should have uniform pricing policy. There should be no difference. Point number 2, when you're talking in terms of private players, be it hospitals, clinics, or institutions, there should be a small margin, but no profiteering. Why am I saying there should be no profiteering is that this is not to save one human's life. Please understand, when you're getting a routine vaccine routinely, be it hepatitis A, hepatitis B, or typhoid or meningitis, it is to protect your own life. Here, even if you get your vaccine and your neighbor doesn't, you are still at risk because the strength of the chain is in the weakest link. The entire community needs to get it and get it fast. Why am I saying get it fast? Because it's a race against time. More the delay is in the rollout to reach the level of herd immunity, more the mutations will come in. Therefore, it is important to roll it out. We must make it accessible and affordable to almost every citizen, whether he goes to a government hospital or a private hospital, irrespective. We also have to keep in mind a lot of patients who are going to go into private hospitals have ongoing cost of their routine medications. A lot of them are on chemotherapy medicines, post-transplants, and so on. We also know that end of the year or early part of next year, there is going to be a booster dose for this because COVID is here to stay and most probably it is going to turn into endemic. My final take on this is an extraordinarily and very catastrophic time. This is now to save humanity at large. The pricing policy should be uniform. It should be well rolled out. The private players also need to be defined as a capping as what is their administrative cost. I don't want a patient to come to a private clinic, even say, for example, mine. I'm very happy to take no administrative costs for this vaccine, but there should be a price cap. It should be that a doctor puts a consultation plus administrative charges plus the cost of the vaccine. A family of 4 will not be able to afford it twice over in 30 days.
Okay. Yes, Ghanshyam Tiwari wants to make a point. Go on.
Well, Padmaja, state after states have presented their budgets. If you just take one state where BJP in Bihar said they would offer free vaccine to everybody, ask 1,200 rupees and multiply it with 5 crore, 6 crore people you want to give vaccines because just 1.6% of the country has been vaccinated. Does the state have that financial heft? Has this been budgeted? This was a promise made by the Prime Minister in his own election campaign. Bengal, did Gujarat made that budget? You tell me, let RP Singh tell one state that has made budget for this. And the states have not budgeted. It means that the states were kept in dark as this pricing was arrived at. Who kept the states in dark? It wasn't Nitish Kumar or Yogi Adityanath who were arguing the price with these companies. So if the center is taking all the shots, they can't suddenly create a knee-jerk setup where the states have to find resources when already they have stretched and stressed resources and GST resources have not been transferred adequately to the state. So this is another example of how Narendra Modi and Amit Shah are dooming this country and pushing it into a crisis.
Okay,
Well,
first you asked a factual question, then of course you had to throw in a bit of politics also, but go on, answer.
Well, I don't believe the system is doing it. I believe Mr. Modi should resign for dooming India into this crisis. It's not the system that can resign.
Sure enough. All right, sir, you've made your point, but we have a more important issue of addressing that why should states pay 400 rupees? And in addition to that question, I want to add, whenever we have a mass vaccination program, for example, the Pulse Polio program, the procurement is done by the center and it is given to the states. And it is done at a standard rate. Why can't that same principle apply to this vaccine as well, RP Singh?
Well, he ended with a political pinch, and let me start with the political pinch. I mean, sir, Netaji ने इंजेक्शन लगवा लिया, भाजपा का नहीं लगवाया अभी भी. I mean, he's still without injection, or has he got himself vaccinated? भाजपा का वैक्सीनेशन नहीं लगाएंगे. सर, अरे सर, आपने बोला टूका नहीं ना मैंने आपको पूरा मौका दिया. अच्छी बात नहीं. So नेताजी को बोलो अपने चेलों को, और आपने भी अगर नहीं लगवाया तो लगवा लीजिए कृपा कर. और आपकी उम्र 45 से ऊपर है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं. नेताजी की उम्र 45 से ऊपर, लगवा लेना चाहिए था. सर अच्छा, चलिए कोई बात नहीं, आप लगवा लीजिएगा, कोई बात नहीं, अच्छी बात. मैं तो आपकी समझदारी के से आपको उम्र दे रहा था. Padmaja, this is standard date for state and center both put together. It's not that there's separate date being charged for state and separate being charged for center. One. Secondly, even the vaccination will be provided by the center free of cost at the centers which center is providing. Yes, that it will be just free of cost. Center is bearing the cost for that. It's up to the states. I mean, they wanted to jump in. No, give us a chance. We want to take it up. We will take it to every household. We'll ensure that it goes to every household. So, your opportunity to take it. No, we want to issue you a certificate which has Prime Minister Modi's message. No, you don't want to. You want to put your photograph. Take the opportunity. Put your publicity. Add another some money to 293.16 crore spent in last 1 year. Put something more. So do that. But the rates are same for central.
So tell me this. So you are right when you say that those above 45 are going to be vaccinated by the vaccines which are procured by the center. But what of those who are between the age of 18 and 45 and who are eligible now in the third phase for vaccination in the states? Who's going to pay for them, RP Singh?
Okay. In the state also, 18 to 45. Center, the hospitals managed by the center, and there are a lot being built by the center in last 6 years. So there it will be free of cost as it is going by the center, taken care by the center. But there are people like Mr. Kejriwal and others who have said, no, हमको chance दो, हम हर घर जाकर लगाएंगे. So you have a good opportunity to do that. Prove it that you can do it. I mean, we will be grateful. A nation will be grateful to you. You said oxygen is ample. So
Dr. Sumansi Raman.
4 questions.
Sumansi Raman.
First of all, what is the purpose of vaccination? The purpose is for us to vaccinate a largest number of people possible in the shortest possible time so that we can develop herd immunity and come out of the pandemic.
We have done it in a fast.
1 minute. One minute, sir. No, sir. 1 minute. With due
No,
respect.
please. Now let's. This is an important debate. Let's listen to all questions and then give answers. Please. Silence everyone. Only Dr. Sumansi Raman.
Three, four quick points. One, I think the fact that we put all our eggs in these two baskets of Covaxin and Covishield itself was a problem. Most countries placed orders for vaccines in July, August, September of 2020. India placed its orders in January 2021. That itself is a fundamental problem. One. Second, the pricing of this, you can have 200 different ways of pricing in normal circumstances. In this crisis situation, there can only be cost price plus whatever is a reasonable profit, and that is the price to everyone. Now, the point is, if Covaxin was not manufactured entirely by Bharat Biotech, did NIV Pune not collaborate? Did ICMR not collaborate? Who owns the IP for this? If Government of India says that the vaccine can be manufactured in Haffkine Institute, then obviously it means the Government of India must be owning the IP. If government owns the IP, why can't they give it to 10 other people and tell them to manufacture it? So there are too many unanswered questions. Nobody has seen the agreement between ICMR, NIV and Bharat Biotech. I mean, except the government. So, I mean, there are...
Exactly. And while you answer those 4 questions, I want to add one of my own. First of all, why is there such a communication gap on the vaccine pricing? Serum Institute was completely quiet about how much the center will be paying going forward. Adar Poonawalla said that 150 wala price was for the original deal that was negotiated. Later, the center will also pay more. Dr. Harshvardhan has contradicted him. So can we get clarity on exactly how much is being paid to Serum Institute and to Bharat Biotech for the vaccines going forward? RP Singh. And the 4 questions asked by Sumansi Raman.
Well, Padmaja, price for the state and center will be the same. There will be no differential pricing as far as center and state goes. Center will provide for vaccination in each state also, free of cost. And if the state want to take initiative, they can. Private bodies and corporates want to take initiatives, they can. Even private hospitals want to take initiatives, they can. But yes, as even now, outside, even I took a vaccination where I paid 250 rupees, whereas the vaccination one of my family member got it free from a government hospital. So it's there. So it's up to us. We want to go to a government hospital, or we want to go to a private institution, or we want to go to a state facility. States like Bihar, Gujarat, UP, Kerala, there are many other states who have said that we will provide it free. So they'll make provision for it. Whatever vaccination they pick, so they make provision for it. So same, I mean, and let's not create any confusion. I'm saying it, putting a record, there will be no differential pricing as far as state and center goes. And as far as those 150 rupees...
Okay, you're saying you're putting it on record, but there are still many lacuna that remain in the data that we have so far. Many questions that are still unanswered about how this vaccine rollout for the next stage will happen. But perhaps there needs to be much more communication on what the pricing is going to be, how it is going to be given to the states. I'm unfortunately completely out of time, but don't worry, for anyone who has similar concerns, this is something that we'll be addressing over the next few days as well in the lead up to the 2nd of May. For the time being, thank you very much all gentlemen for having joined me. And as always, here's a sincere request. Please keep yourself and your family indoors and safe. See you.